All right, and welcome to 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time, even though we're a little later than 11:11, but that's okay. We're here tonight. Welcome back. It's been a little while. It's our 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time, 11-minute meditation and one card pull. For those of you who might be new to me, I am Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck. And as we are here tonight, I like to always start off our session by asking how are we all feeling on an emotional level from a scale of 1 to 10. 10 means you feel awesome. 1, you want to still crawl back into bed, put the covers over your head, and stay there until we sing Happy New Year for 2021. So Nick, how are you tonight?
7.
7, all right. And Susan, how are you? Just got to unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm in about a 7 also.
Okay. So let's see what we need to hear tonight, what chakra we need to focus on, and what affirmation is going to provide us a higher vibration for this evening. And what number is going to show up to provide a hidden message. Let's see what we got. Our card for tonight. Interesting card. Communication. Communication. So when we think about communication, how are we communicating? Are we communicating to answer something? Are we communicating in regards to listening to what the other person is saying? And even more important, are we engaging in the communication with our higher self and our angels, which are extremely important. They provide such amazing insight when we pay attention to them. And we often find ourselves asking questions that we're looking for guidance for, but then sometimes we tend to not pay attention to when the guidance comes in. So the actual chakra associated is the heart center in the pink. So when we think about the heart center as the pink energy, it is really about the nourishment and the unconditional love that we can give to one another when we're communicating. So when someone is communicating and they happen to be communicating and ranting and venting and just going off on a tantrum, perhaps you can just be compassionate, kind, and understanding to them at the time that they might just be ramping. Sometimes when one communicates, it's not always about having to respond. Sometimes the person just wants you to listen. So if we can move into that space of learning how to do that, where we don't always have to be there to help somebody in regards to giving our opinions and our advice. Being there to help somebody could be just about listening. The number associated with 12. When we think about 12 in numerology, the numbers 1 represents a new way of doing something. Perhaps the way you've been doing things before doesn't really work anymore. And the 2 is about the partnership that you do have when you communicate. I always like to believe that even when there's no one around and we're communicating to ourselves, muffling to ourselves, we often are speaking to our higher self. It's not that we're not speaking to anybody, we're speaking to our higher self. And when you can get into the habit of recognizing that you are actually speaking to somebody when you're in a room, when there's no one there, and recognize that you're speaking to your higher self, maybe you can also initiate the conversation by introducing yourself and saying hello to your higher self. And this way here, your higher self then feels like he or she is being recognized, and you become more in tune to what your higher self has to say. When we look at that 1 and 2 energy, it's a 3. So what is it we're creating when we are communicating? Because I'm sure by now you've heard me say, for those of you who've been following me on a regular basis, what it is we think about, what it is we listen to, what it is we watch, we create that into our realities. So I'd like you to take some time tonight to really think about going forward, what kind of conversations you're having with anyone that you're having conversations with, and asking yourself at the time that you're having the conversations, is this something I really want to create? Because again, remembering every conversation, Doesn't matter if you've turned on the news and you're watching the news. That conversation in the news is what you are attracting. Doesn't matter if you open the newspaper and you're reading something in the newspaper. As long as you are downloading that into your third eye, you are creating that into your experience. If you are sitting with a friend at the coffee shop and they are speaking to you about something that might have a low vibration to it, you want to ask yourself, do I want to create this? You have that option. And if you're choosing not to want to create something, it's very simple to change the channel. Even if that means you're sitting across from your friend, having a conversation that the vibration is low. Change the topic. Give them time to vent about what it is they're speaking about, and that's it. And then change it. You do not have to deliver an intense low frequency message back to them. And by you switching the channel, giving them a chance to say what they need to say, because obviously they need to vent, but then switching the channel, raising the vibration, because they actually need that from you as well, is that you raise the vibration for both you and them. And that is what you create. Any questions on that so far?
No.
Nick?
No.
We're good with that? Okay. So what I'd like everybody to do is take a moment, find a comfortable position to sit in, feet flat on the floor, resting your hands in your lap. And during our session today, I'm going to be guiding you to introduce yourself to your higher self and possibly having a conversation with your higher self. Not so much about you speaking to your higher self, but getting in the habit of listening to what your higher self has to say to you, so you can gain some insight from what your higher self has for you. So resting your hands in your lap, closing your eyes, and just take a nice deep breath in. And just exhale that breath, and as you exhale, just let your entire day go. Let's take another nice deep breath in. And as you exhale this breath, I'd like you to become aware of any physical discomforts that's going on in your body in this moment. Recognize where they are. And wherever they are showing up in this moment, just give a moment to be grateful for the experience that the discomfort is showing from. Because I always like to say, when we have discomfort in the body, it's our body's way of letting us know that there's something not balanced within the mind, body, and spirit. Once you've thanked the discomfort, begin to just let it go. I'd like you to take another deep breath in. And as you take this deep breath in, I'd like you to begin to connect with any thoughts you're holding on to. Anything that feels heavy. I'd like you to visualize a basket sitting at the side of you and begin to unload those thoughts into the basket. Doesn't matter what the thoughts are, as long if they are feeling heavy, stick them in there. You can always come back later and get them. Now I'd like you to take another nice deep breath in. And as you exhale this breath, I'd like you to drop that breath down to your feet. And just allow that breath to just slowly flow back up, all the way up to the crown, to the top of your head. And then visualize that breath coming back down, but this time it's going to stop right down at your waist, your hips. Right at your hips. Slightly below the root chakra, right at the hips. I'd like you to visualize that breath as a beautiful white light. And now continue to allow that breath to flow down. And as it does, just visualize this white image just expanding out as the breath flows all the way down your legs, down to your feet. And then let the breath drop 12 feet below you. And as it does, just imagine this beautiful white light spreading out as far as it can, taking up the entire space of the earth. That all you can see below you is this beautiful white light spread out, as though it's a sheet of ice. Beautiful, glossy white light all down below you. Now I like you to visualize that energy flowing back up. As that beautiful sheet of white light is below you, I'd like you to feel that energy flowing up your legs, up into your hips, up into your root. Feeling that energy expand into your root chakra, expand into your sacral, expand into your solar plexus, expand into the heart, expand into your throat, expand up to your third eye. Just feel that beautiful white light expand right to your crown. Then we're going to move it up just a little higher into the soul star. And then feel that white light go up 12 feet, then 300 feet, then 500 feet, and expanding out, filling up the entire sky with this beautiful white light. So as you look up, you see this beautiful, plain white light. As you look down, you see this beautiful, plain white light. Visualize this energy coming back down, flowing all the way back down to your root chakra again. And as it hits down, then bring it right back up into the crown, soul star, and then right back down to the root. And then right back up to the soul star, moving as slowly or quickly as you'd like it to move. One more time, back down to the root chakra. Then bringing it all the way up, hitting the crown, hitting your soul star. And in that space, just begin to feel the energy of your highest self sitting directly next to you. And in that space, just again, recognizing your higher self by saying, hello, higher self. And as you recognize your higher self, introducing yourself to your higher self. Hello, higher self. I am so happy to see you here today. And as you ask your higher self, I'd like you to ask your higher self to begin to share with you insight. What do you need to know today, tonight? What do you need to know today or tonight? One thing you need to know that's going to help you step into your soul purpose. What is that one thing? And just be open to hearing, seeing, feeling. Whether your images show up as numbers, colors, words, pictures, people, places. Just be open to that energy. All you are doing here is listening. The only thing you ask your higher self is, what do I need to know right now to serve my soul purpose? Should you find yourself saying how or when or why, just let all that go and just be in the present moment of what your higher self is guiding you on. What you need to know right now that serves your soul purpose. I'd like you to take a deep breath here. And whether or not you receive guidance from your higher self, know that if you have not, know that you will in your waking world. It can show up in so many different ways, from music to an advertisement on the bus or the train, to a conversation you overhear in the grocery store, to a sentence you read from a book, to a picture, to a color. So many ways that signs can show up. I'd like you to take a moment and thank your higher self for this guidance. And as you thank your higher self for this guidance, I'd like you to begin to feel the energy of your higher self just going away. And all you are feeling is your own presence right where you are. And again, I'd like you to begin to visualize that beautiful white sky that's expanded out above you. Feeling that energy dropping right back down to your root chakra, expanding all the way below you. Feel that energy flowing back up to your crown chakra. And then flowing right back down to your root chakra. At this time, I'd like you to visualize this beautiful energy that's flowing up and down, slowly changing into this beautiful pink ball of light. Pink ball of light. Allowing that pink ball of light just to settle into your heart center. Filling yourself up with joy, self-love, and peace. Then I'd like you to begin to see yourself surrounded by this beautiful pink ball of light, where you are actually inside this pink ball of light. And once you can see yourself fully inside this pink ball of light, where self-love, self-compassion, self-care is surrounding you. I'd like you to slowly begin to feel your energy moving back into your body. As you feel your energy coming back into your body, I'd like you to begin to feel yourself back into the room that you are in, feeling your feet on the floor. As you feel your feet on the floor, I'd like you to know that when you come back into your waking world, in your consciousness, whatever it is you receive from your higher self, you will remember. And again, if you have not received any guidance from your higher self in your meditation, know that in your waking world, your conscious world, you will receive that guidance. Come back physically. Come back emotionally. Come back mentally. Come back spiritually. And open your eyes. Okay, let's go with how we are doing on an emotional levels. Nick, where are you right now?
I'd say 8.5.
Okay, and Susan?
I'm about an 8. I'm just wondering what the card pull was because my phone charger was out. So I didn't catch the beginning of what you said.
The card pull was all about communication.
Uh-huh.
The pink is all about the heart center for compassion and love. And our number was 1 and 2, which is 3, communication. The partnership that you have tonight with your higher self.
Okay.
And thinking about, when we think about communication, it's not always about speaking as much as it could be about listening.
Okay.
Learning how to be a better listener and not having to always give your advice or opinions when someone is sharing information. All right. So Nick, for you, what was going on in your meditation? Did you receive some guidance from your spirit, from your higher self?
Yeah, it was sort of a lot of guidance. and a lot of different things that I think require a little bit more investigation. But one of them is one thing that I felt like I was being told was to not feel guilty about doing or wanting to do certain things.
Okay,
That
so was there anything that was showing up in regards to what serves your higher purpose?
yeah, I mean, some of it is about, you know, writing about my experiences, and I've been sort of afraid to write about some of them because I feel like there's this aura of judgment around some of my experiences and some of like my short-term plans, or like I feel like there's an aura of judgment, and I've sort of been trying to get out of that place where I'm concerned about that, and the guidance was really focused on that, like don't be concerned about it, you know.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And Susan, how about for you? Were you able to receive guidance from your higher self?
Yeah, because something came through today from one of my job recruiters for a job that sounds very well suited for me. So I was asking my higher power, like, what will the job require? And what it came back to me was teaching, which is what I want to continue to be able to do, even though my other job is going to be ending in a couple of months. So my higher power was telling me like that it is a right fit for me and that I should go on the interview and that it's going to be a teaching job.
Excellent. All right. And I just want to clarify for our YouTube viewers as well. There is a difference between our higher power and our higher self. Higher power is whom we pray to. Higher self is a higher version of us. Okay, just to give our viewers an understanding that there is a difference between the two. But it doesn't matter where the guidance comes from, as long as you receive the guidance. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes. And I also want to just very quickly just touch on when we connect with our higher self, or even higher power for that matter, and we're asking for guidance, we're asking for insight. Sometimes we tend to forget that we ask for guidance, so we're not paying attention, which then means we don't feel like we get the insight, and then we think our higher self and higher power isn't paying attention to us. So what I like you also to do, when you ask a question in reference to something serve you, whatever that might be, whether it be, does this for Susan, does this particular job as teaching serve my higher purpose? What you can do is set some sort of sign to confirm that it does, and whatever that sign might be for you. And when I use the word sign, whatever you resonate with. So for example, for me, when I ask for signs, I either will ask to see a number or a specific image of something. And when I see that, that confirms to me what I asked as my guide, as my question. And it confirms that I am on the right path to do what it is I asked about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And the same thing for you, Nick. So in regards to when you're asking about something, and if it serves your higher self, asking to see some sort of sign, and be very specific on the sign, something that's going to resonate with you. Okay. And because if you just turn around and say, okay, I want to see a bird. Yeah. I mean, theoretically, you're going to see a bird. You got to be very specific to what kind of bird you want to see. And once you see that bird, then you know that you're on the right path for what it is you're looking to do. And by doing this also alleviates any of the stress and the wondering on, well, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decision? Because once you get that confirmation, it's the right decision. So it takes away all the need to have to keep asking the same question over and over again in a different way. And as humans, we tend to do that. we tend to think that we have to ask the same question 500 times and come up with different images to get confirmation. And in the bigger picture, you don't. You only need to ask once and get the confirmation, and then know that you're on the path to do what you need to do. Make sense? Any questions?
Well, what happens if you don't see that number or you don't see that bird?
Well, to start off with, whatever your image is, so I don't want you to be stuck on the fact on the bird or a number. Whatever your sign that you're asking for. So the question that you're asking, if I'm understanding, is what happens if you're not seeing it?
Right.
If you're not seeing it, and again, I'm glad you asked that question. You want to also be very specific to how soon you want to see it. So for example, and I'm not going to use the bird, I'm going to say, higher self, am I on the right path with X, Y, and Z? Show me a red bird within the next 72 hours.
Oh, okay.
So it gives you 3 days. So if in 3 days you have not seen your red bird,
Right.
it means that at that particular time, that particular thing you are asking about does not serve your higher purpose.
Okay.
At that particular time. That doesn't mean it doesn't serve you, it just doesn't serve you then. 90% of the times when that does happen, it's because one's vibration is lower than the thing we're looking for, and you have to start raising your vibration to attract it.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just a matter of changing your direction in reference to what it is you are thinking about. And then once that does happen, you may very well ask that question again, let's say a month or two down the road, and say, does this serve my higher purpose? Now, of course, if it's a decision you need to make right away and you don't get that confirmation, then that means that it does not serve you at that time to do that. And again, doesn't mean it's never going to serve you. It just doesn't serve you at that time to do it.
Okay.
Okay, which is why signs are so powerful, because when you do ask for the sign, if it's actually serving you, you will see the sign. But you got to be very, very, very clear to what you're asking for. If it's a very plain sentence, it's not going to serve your purpose. So you want to be very super clear to what it is you're asking for.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your question there, Susan. Nick, you have any other questions? Are you with us tonight?
Yeah.
All right. So that was our 11:11 meditation and 1 card pull. As we have just about 9 minutes left to go, but if we have no other questions and we feel good enough with tonight's meditation, then we can call it a night.
Okie doke.
All right. So again, for all our YouTube watchers, feel free to leave your comments, your questions at healingwithin76@gmail.com, and know that we come every Monday night at 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time for 11-minute meditation and a 1 card pull. As tonight's card was all about communication, and reminding yourself that communication does not always mean you have to put your 2 cents into the conversation. Sometimes it's just about listening, and sometimes it's about changing the conversation. So if a conversation is not bringing you joy and happiness, it's up to you to change that conversation, because we are the creator to our experience based on the things we speak about, we listen to, and we watch.
And that was the heart chakra, but it wasn't the throat chakra?
No, this is the affirmation is the throat chakra because it's communication.
Right.
But the chakra itself is the heart.
Is the heart.
Is the heart, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And our number is 3 based on that 1 and 2. So the 1 is a new way of communicating. The 2 is the partnerships that you're communicating with. And again, as I said earlier, sometimes the partnership that we communicate with is solely with ourselves, which theoretically is our higher self. We are never ever just talking to ourselves. I believe that we are always having a conversation with either our higher self, our higher power, and spirit guides and loved ones. So when you are in that space where no one's there with you and you're having a conversation, greet whomever it is you wish to have a conversation with, because we are never alone. We are always in connection with someone. But remember that whatever it is we communicate about is what we are creating. So be real mindful of what it is you are speaking about, listening to, and watching, because that will become your reality. So when the conversation is a low vibration conversation, ask yourself, do I really want to create this? And if the answer is no, change the channel. Change the channel, change the topic, bring it up a notch, raise your vibration. Any questions on that? No? Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing everyone next Monday night.
I have one quick question. When you say change your vibration, how do you recommend you change your vibration? What do you do?
You change the conversation. So if a conversation is not joyful and peaceful,
Uh-huh.
then you need to bring up you need to shift the conversation to something that's gonna bring more joy. So for example, again, if you're having a conversation with someone and they're venting about something,
Right.
you don't have to engage in the venting. Give them the time to vent, and then when they are completely done, then change the topic to something that's going to be more high vibration. Because again, the key component is when we are with people and when we walk away from people, we want to walk away. We want to make sure that they walk away from us and we walk away from them in a high vibration. If you are walking away from somebody and your vibration happens to dip, it's your responsibility to do whatever it is you need to do to raise your vibration back up. And raising your vibration back up is always about a positive thought.
Okay.
And that even goes the same thing for your own self. So if you are dealing with something in the course of your day that has low energy to it, which is, it's a normal part of life, then it's up to you to think about something that brings you joy and shift the channel to raising your vibration back up. Because the higher your vibration, the more you're going to attract positive things into your experience. The lower your vibration, the more you're going to attract negative things into your experience. Because again, your vibrations is the energy antenna to what you're attracting.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Nick, anything for you? You're just too quiet tonight.
Listening.
You're usually the one with all the questions.
He's listening.
All right. All right, guys. It was a pleasure. I look forward to seeing both of you next Monday night here, and I look forward to seeing both of you this week for sessions. Have a great one.
Night.
You too. Night.
Bye-bye. Good night.